Reaching the level of absolute cinema that was the opening episode of Hoshino Ai would have been a nigh-on impossible task for the subsequent episodes, and it turned out to be just that. A pipe dream. Hello and welcome, you beautiful people. Before we get to it, if you find yourself enjoying this video, please do subscribe, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs this year. So yeah, as a surprise to absolutely nobody, the second and third episodes, being of standard length and budget for an anime, could not follow on the jaw-dropping performance delivered on by the opening episode, and have in fact dropped in quality down to roughly the level that I might have come to expect from Kaguya-sama Love is War. Admittedly, being on the level of Kaguya is still pretty damn good, but it is not, oh my god, this is the best thing ever kind of good. Even if it still wipes the floor with the usual seasonal average, it's still a pretty noticeable drop, made even more apparent by the extremely high standards set by what came before. Now, don't get me wrong, this kind of a drop is completely normal, and it happens for like 99.99% of all anime, since the opening episode is there to bring in the viewers and to get them hooked, after which the show usually dials things back to a more sustainable quality, and then there is another huge splurge of budget towards the conclusion. But naturally, the bigger the initial high, the rougher the fall feels. It's kind of a careful balance, and one I don't think Hoshino Ai nailed. Think of it like this. The ending of Demon Slayer's Entertainment District arc was some of the most entertaining anime viewing ever, and in comparison the start of the third season felt kind of like a wet fart. Don't get me wrong, it was still that sweet release of a fart you've had to hold on for far too long and finally get to let loose, but no matter the bliss of release or the pain of waiting, a wet fart is still a wet fart, and you can't get around that fact. And now that I've taken this ass-gas related analogy far further than it ever deserved, let's get back on topic. So now that we've established that a normal anime episode does in fact not hold up to the standard of what was essentially a feature film in all but name, I can actually talk about those two episodes, which brings on another sort of disappointing fact. And that is that we got exactly what everyone knew we would: a setup episode, or rather two of them, and no matter how often one comes, no matter their importance for the story as a whole, it's really damn hard to get excited for an episode full of nothing but promises for future fun. That being said, there are a few saving graces for these two episodes, despite their very heavy setup nature and the rather harsh drop from the first episode, one being the strong continued theme of showing us the darker side of the entertainment industry, which I at least find fascinating. This is more than apparent as the second episode focuses on the shady dealings of the idol side of things, as the episode zooms in on Ruby's goal of one day following in her mother's footsteps and becoming an idol. While the third one shows us how in the acting world being good is sometimes not enough, or even called for, as Aqua once more dives into the world of young actors far too full of themselves, and both of these episodes again reinforce the notion that almost everyone will in the end only ever think of number one, and their main goal will always be money. The other saving grace being the characters themselves. Ruby is still bubbly and has thrown herself fully into the dream of becoming an idol, all the while the darkness within her brother has swelled, making him gloomy, but with a sense of dedication about him. A dedication which leads Aqua to be an overprotective brother in a really roundabout way of care and affection, shown by shattering his sister's dream of becoming an idol over and over again, all the while repressing his own wish to actually become an actor. And it is these two dreams that are being set up in episodes 2 and 3. Aqua may have dedicated his life to trying to protect Ruby against her will and knowledge, all the while killing his own ambitions for the sake of vengeance, but in fiction one can never run away from their destiny for long. And so, for the sake of choosing the lesser of two evils, Strawberry Production reopens their idol branch and hires Ruby to keep her close to family for safety while still letting her pursue the dream of stardom, and Aqua himself gets coaxed into acting once again by none other than Kana Arima, the child actress he put to shame in his first debut movie. So yeah, it is pretty obvious what is being set up, but the show still keeps the big hit cards close to its chest, showing us what is to come, but not revealing what form it will take, or if there will be any big unexpected twists like we had in the first episode. Who knows, maybe Aqua will end up shooting Ruby in the face or something equally grim. All in all, the episodes further reinforced existing character motivations and showed us how the budding reasoning each one had at the end of the prologue had now matured into something that was well thought out and serious. That is to say, it's kind of looking like this will be one of those shows in which at the end of the day what happens is kind of secondary, and it's the characters themselves that end up shining the brightest, much like in Kaguya-sama. And on that note, now that it seems like the setup is over and done with, I for one cannot wait for what comes next. Something tells me that Hoshino Ai will not take the route of Kaguya-sama, where the status quo was maintained from one episode to the next, but instead there's gonna be something big. and it's looking like Aqua will be the one to blow things up, either with his acting ability or with something darker he is brewing in his mind. Lastly, before I go, do let me know in the comments below what did you think of Oshinoko now that it had reduced to the usual anime length, which significantly limited just how much they could do in a single episode. Were you like me and knew to expect a drop in performance, or did you still love these two episodes the same as the beginning? If you liked this, like it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more anime goodness, and check the links in the description if you want to engage with me outside of YouTube. With this, I have been Cheese, and I hope to see you next time. Ta-ta for now.